Good night, everybody, or as I should say, good morning, unless you're on the West Coast. Welcome to the Comix Asylum live stream with Steve and Jay. Hope everyone's doing well, and we're happy to see everyone that's in the chat already.
How's it going, everybody?
Let's see. Let's hit some comments.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Here we do. Randall says, "Hey, Jay."
What's going
on,
Randall?
How you doing, Jay?
How you doing, brother?
Andrew Davis, what happened to you on Saturday, Jay?
Saturday? What are we talking about? What happened to me on Saturday? What happened?
Crimson Cobra. Good morning or night, fellas. How goes it, Mega J? How you doing, Crimson Cobra? Hope you're doing well. We're good. We're good. Lord Hoagie. Howdy, y'all. Howdy back.
What's going on, brother?
That's a cool looking pic. Thank you. And then RDFC. This is crazy. T11 and counting. And Collector Phil. What's good, Jay? Hi, all.
What's going on, Phil? How you doing, brother?
All right. So we have an amazing guest this week. And it touches on both of our specialties, comics and toys. Guy Dorian Sr., who has an amazing Kickstarter going on, and he's a good friend of Jay's. So I'm going to let Jay kind of give him a little bit of an intro, and then we'll bring him onto the stream.
Well, yeah, Guy and I met at I believe it was a convention once, but then we've been communicating online on Instagram and on Facebook and Instant Messenger. And yeah, he's got a great project going on. Very, very exciting. Already reached its minimum funding goals. So it is going into production. And we want to help get this well past its multiple tiers and every stretch goal that we want to do. Much the same way that, Comix Asylum was trying to push their book as much as possible. Same thing with Atrium and all the other projects we try. Gilly writes comics. Everybody that we love comics, and that's the reason why we do this. And of course, independent projects need all the help we can get. So we'd like to introduce Guy, and let's give him a round of applause. A round of applause. Let's bring in Guy, Steve.
We'll give him the round.
Hey, hey guys.
How you doing? How are you? We're good. We're good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Hold on, let me just move this extra camera out of the way. Didn't need him. Yeah, man, it's good to see you guys. And I started collecting when I was like a kid, and was when I saw Jay, I was like, oh shit, this guy is awesome. He's got like every time I want to know something, he's got the goods. So and I'm a huge He-Man fan, and lots of stuff about He-Man on there. Still waiting to get on there. I talked to, well, I won't say who it is, but I know people at Mattel and every company, and let's see if I could get to be able to do some He-Man this coming year.
That would be sweet. I mean, seriously,
yeah, that would be amazing.
We need more stuff with He-Man, of course, but we're not here to talk about He-Man. We're here to talk about your latest project, Lost Landers. So excited about this. You've been working on this for well over a year or two, right? It's been quite.
It's 2 years now, and one thing that I do is I work at comic companies. Obviously, I'm known as a comic book illustrator, but I've got toys and all kinds of toy designs and all kinds of products and packaging, everything, all kinds of stuff like that. But I like to create new series. It's not something you could do at other, like you go to Marvel and stuff, you get a chance of doing that, but it's not quite the same. You don't have the control, you don't have the ownership. So for me, it was like, hey, I grew up with all this stuff. I want to make my own stuff. So I started doing that, and Lost Landers came in. I started creating some more new stuff about 10, 11 years ago, maybe 12. And just so happens I have all the hookups because I've been in the industry for so long that I just seem to know everyone. That, I started creating stuff, and I was working with a company called PKMM, and then I had like guys like Larry Hama with me and a bunch of other friends, and a guy named Michael Golden, and even Neil Adams did some stuff there, and my buddy Sal Buscema, who's been my inker for a long time. He's famous for the Hulk and just about, yeah, so you know him, yeah, just about
fan.
like. Yeah, so he's been my partner for quite some time now, and so then I did this book and I worked with Larry. It was called Core, Controlled Organic Robotics, and it launched right before COVID, and it was like, oh come on, man, years of work in that, a huge entire world. Yeah, I have a cover here. It was a cut. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh wow,
That's Core, and that's inked by Sal Buscema. So I did all that. Then I went and worked with John Carpenter and Sandy Carpenter, John Carpenter, the film director, and worked on their stuff. Created a series with Louise Simonson. And that one had like Kelly Jones cover, Bill Sienkiewicz cover, all that jazz. I drew it, Sal inked it, Scott Hanna inked some of it. He's famous for working over John Romita Jr. and just about everybody on Spider-Man and stuff. So I had that was called Hyperbreed. It was a graphic novel. It did very well. So then I decided, hey, I need to create some more new things. So I had a few stories because I always have a bunch of stuff because I also do stuff getting ready for Hollywood right now. For the last 4 years, 4 years, I've been preparing some stuff with my company Good Alien for television shows and film because I have good connections, and so we should be seeing some of that stuff soon too. But I don't stop creating. So it was a chance meeting. I met this guy Thomas Chillemi, and he owns 3 stores, comic shops, but he also was an independent publisher. And he had Sal Buscema at his shop once, and my buddy Herb was headed there. Herb Trimpe. He drew. Do you guys know? He drew Godzilla, and he drew. A thing called, what is that called? Oh yeah, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
Yeah, he did G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Right. And so he passed away.
Yeah.
And he and I were going to go to do this signing at this shop, and that was where it was Thomas's shop. Anyway, it turns out we all met. I got to meet Thomas, and I said, "Hey, I got this thing I'm doing," and then. It was going to be more of an adventure type thing. And then we sat down and just started letting it go. And we came up with Lost Landers. And it's a fantasy series. And it's reminiscent of, I'm going to lean in here so I'm a little closer because I got like half a screen. It's reminiscent of something that we might have, or I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 55, so. That guys my age would have grown up with and seen, but never got to see. Can you imagine? You know all this stuff and He-Man and all that stuff, and even Mask and Transformers, Herculoids, all that stuff. And this Lost Landers is something that should have been a cartoon back then.
Yep.
But it was. But somehow it was passed over, and now it's being rebooted. But being rebooted in a great way, in a way that it still has the look of those days, because it's made for kids like when we were kids. It's made for kids to be able to enjoy the series. Good guys versus bad guys. That's it. But as a collector myself and understanding the industry, I also designed every character to look like something I would want to buy as an adult collector. Because adulting is just fine. And I'll never stop collecting. But, you know, creators of toys and comics and everything, we're all adults anyway. We're just kids at heart. You know, people don't sometimes think about that. Even when we're making stuff for younger kids to watch or to read, it's all adults, it's all professionals. But we love this stuff, as you guys know so well. That's why I'm really happy to be on here. So Lost Landers is a series that's based in there's history. It's history. It's based on different types of, what are they, hominids? Is that what it's called? That lived on the planet. So let's say, you know, Homo floresiensis, Neanderthal, Homo erectus, and a few,
the history of evolution. So basically,
evolution. Thanks.
Yeah, all the hominids that came before us, right? So.
Yeah. I when I start thinking about something, I'm complete ADHD, really, really bad. So there's robots going on in here right now. And what's the next story? And where's the character? You know, so my daughter says, write it down, Dad, because even if it's all there, you're going to be thinking of 60 things. But that's okay. Anyway, so there is now there's. When I was talking to Thomas, I was like, hey, there are 7 most unexplored places. I saw this on a TV show, the most quiet places in the world. And the reason why they're quiet is no one lives there, no one goes there, there's nothing there. So I was like, what if it was like these 7 most unexplored places? What would be there? That opened us up to, and Thomas was like, hey, you know, there could be magic there could be this there could be that there. And I was like, oh, yeah. So we came up with this world in those places. So like literally people today haven't gone there and explored there. These characters could actually live there right now. And we wouldn't know it. That's what we thought was interesting. So it's this fantasy story of those characters and those beings having their own evolution. But we didn't know that mysticism and magic was actually part of the world. We just don't know it here. We lost technologies and such. So this world is there, but hidden from us. But there's this guy, Epicurus. There is a villain that once lived and has been resurrected.
Why don't we isolate the guy so that he can show off all the great stuff?
Sorry, let me see.
No, that's good. Now just pull him. No, you did it right, Steve. Go back to that. Now just pull guy on the screen and pull him into your screen.
Ooh,
look at that. That was cool. Okay, so this is Ominous Sir. And what you're looking at right now is it's a proof of concept figure.
Yeah, these are maquettes, right?
Yes, these are proof of concept. These are actually 3D printed.
Right.
They're beautiful.
From my yeah, thanks, man. And he's got 4 heads. Yeah. Creepy dude.
Yeah, so these are the concepts, which are like 1/6. They're close to, well, they're more like 1/8 scale. They're gigantic.
Well, he's larger. Yeah. Some characters are a 7-inch, and we go from 7 to 8 to 9.
Yeah,
or 9.5. So this is Rockstar. He's
partial to this guy. I like this guy. He reminds me of somebody. I don't know who he reminds me of. But he reminds me of somebody.
Well, you know, I designed in 1994 as well. That's when it came out. I was a designer of the Just Toys bendable WWF figures.
Get out of town.
Really?
Is that right?
Yeah, I designed. I was only. Thanks, man. There's a huge story on that. It's because I had no idea that anyone even knew what they were, because I was just working. I was just a kid at the time when I was doing it. And then like my son saw Matt Cardona and his new figures, and his new figures were all based off of my stuff from Just Toys, which is fine. That's fine. And I found out that there was an entire legion of wrestling fans who bought them, owned them, loved them. And so one day I'm online, I'm on Instagram, and I see one of my figures, and I'm like, yeah, I had fun doing that. And they're like, holy crap, you're the guy? Are you Guy? I was like, yeah, that's me. They were like, oh my. So I found out. But anyway, I designed all those, and I made them more like action figures. Even though they were bendable, I created a cut under the arm so that they would bend better. Even though they had massive muscle, because they're like, if you want to design it with these shoulders, before I did those, there weren't bendable figures like that. There were statues, there were action figures like that, but not bendable. They were more like this, and they were flat. And I said, I'm not doing that. This is my thought process. And I thought I was going to, I mean, they didn't even want to hire me at first. They said, you're a Marvel artist. What do you have to do with designing toys? I said, just give me a shot. If I succeed, then you keep me working. I succeeded, and they kept me working. I worked on like the Youngblood when Youngblood came out, and Rob had his comics with different covers on it. I designed all the Youngblood figures and a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, so the WWF is, I have a lot of fans from the WWF days. So I had to make this guy who's a wrestler, and his name is Rockstar. And he's sort of based off of Dusty Rhodes and Rowdy Roddy Piper. If you mix them up but he's just cool dude. But he has multiple personality disorder. So he comes out into the ring as different characters, and you don't know which one he's going to come out as. No one ever knows. He just comes out. But anyway, that's the story. And in the comic, he's going to be fighting this guy. That's Slosh. He's this gooey dude made out of some kind of toxic goo. Like everyone has to have a gooey toxic guy. So they're gonna fight in the story, and all these characters are here. You go here. You might as well show you some of these right now. People have really been very receptive of these, man.
Yeah, he looks great.
I just love the detail.
Yeah.
Oh man, thanks. Yeah, Thomas and I worked hard on these, and this was, I'm obviously the main designer and illustrator of the drawings and the drawing designs, but Thomas puts his input in on like, hey, let's do this, or let's add a gauntlet, let's add that,
Is
so
Thomas doing your sculpting, or is it another?
No. Thomas is a comic book creator. Mm-hmm. And an owner of I would say basically a chain of comic shops. Sure. And collectibles, and he's one of those guys that like he's done a lot of independent stuff and should be working with major pros. So now he is, and it's great because Thomas and I really do well together. So like here's our Yeti. He's massive. Let me get him off the stand.
He is ridiculous. He's huge.
when we bring him we just started bringing him to shows, and people are buying them already. So we're like, okay. And these were our proof of concept, but everyone's like, I want to buy that. I want to buy that now.
Yeah, I can see why. That's crazy good.
I'm glad you like it, man. So it's like we get together and do all these, like the figuring out, I'll do the initial design and we'll be like, no, I'll put forearms, and Thomas will say, no, put this on there and give him horns, or give him this and give him this. And here's Thomas's gauntlets. He's like, hey, put that on the arm. And, he knows a lot about fantasy and stuff. I don't know too much about that, but let me just show you one. Well, I got my cowboy guy.
Cool.
That's really awesome.
Gotta have sort of based off my brother-in-law. He's from Mexico, and he used to ride horses and all that stuff. And uh, anyway, so um, uh, go ahead. You guys have any other questions? You want
Yeah, you know,
questions? You want me to?
it's a great look at how the process is done, and like again, being a little bit on the inside. Ah, look at that. Who's
Wow,
that?
that's cool.
Being a little on the inside, looking out, dealing with artists and 3D designers. That's probably the thing that I want to ask. Like, how much input do you have? Because obviously you work on the 2D sphere, but when it comes to like working with some of the 3D artists, like we have right now on the Flipboard team, we have a wonderful, talented artist, Renders effects, and 9 times out of 10, he'll get it right the first time, with obviously massaging and tweaking here and there. But there's always going to be that one time where he's just way off, and we have to like pull him back and really try to get him back on the up and up. But for the most part, it's always a wonderful collaborative effort. Have you found the process easy to do, or has it been a bit of a struggle from this side?
Well, I'll say this. So, um, I think anything worth. Okay, so it varies. It varies, Jay. It's like if you work, because I work with so many different people,
Mhm.
so it really varies. You got to find. I like theater groups. I like to think of the people that I work with as theater groups.
Sure.
So, like with my comics, I almost always work with Scott Hanna at some point for something. I've worked with Sal Buscema for a while, and I have a core group of friends. I do stuff with Larry Hama because we have another thing that we're doing right now. And I actually am a sculptor as well. So I have here's a maquette I did for Mounties vs. Werewolves. That's the campaign that runs after Lost Landers. So it's like a clay sculpt
Sure.
I did of a Mountie, and then so I understand, how to do this because, like I said, here's another sculpt, a bust
Nice.
I did one night.
Very cool.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thanks, man. If I could show you, I have other statues over there that are like huge. But being able to sculpt helps me to understand a lot of this stuff. Working with 3D sculptors was a new thing, though, I gotta say, because I'm a traditionalist. I started working in the industry with as an assistant at Marvel on like X Force and X Factor and um, Alpha Flight and stuff when I was like 19 or something. So back then, that was like
That's pretty cool to be in the X office and you're not even 20 years old. That's pretty amazing.
oh yeah, man. I was there, like Jim Lee pages would just come in and I'm hanging out at Bob Harris's office. And I remember Tom DeFalco was there and then Bob came in and the person that brought me into toys was John Romita Sr. You guys know who that is? Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
My favorite.
Oh, okay. So John was there. I came in the days when there was still a bullpen.
Yeah.
And guys sitting at it. There was like tables set up where they would cut out the words and stick them on. And
Wow, those are the days.
but yeah. So I mean, you get to know these people, and then there's thousands and thousands of comic book artists out there, but my core group is guys like Bill Sienkiewicz, Walter Simonson, Wheezy, Larry Hama, Scott, and guys from that era. Even though they were older than me, I hung out with all those guys from when I was like 19 years old.
Crazy.
And I worked on the first. I was an assistant on what was it, X-Force 11 or something like that, or where Deadpool first fights Domino. I was like drawing all his knives and all that stuff, and I got to really get to know a lot of people in the industry. But we're traditional artists. we use pencil and paper and clay, and we use, traditional tools. So coming in and going, even back then, it was traditional sculpting, for a lot of the toys I did when I worked on the Tick. Yeah, even I did the Tick series, all kinds of. Geez, I did so much stuff, and now it's 3D guys. So it's interesting to see how they work, because you know what? It's so much easier to get something clean, but there's all these other factors involved. Like if a sculptor, right? So if a sculptor sculpted a head, right? And then sometimes they'll sculpt something over it and forget to take the old head out. You actually can't print it because the printer is going, hey, why are there two heads? What do I do with this? How does this work? What is this mesh? And so it's like an entirely new language. So I haven't delved into the 3D sculpting yet. I'm sure it'll be pretty easy for me to pick up because I can sculpt anything by hand. But working with them it is cool though. It is cool though to be able to take an image now the way they do. They can have it in color, they can have it in gray, you can have it in blue, you can have it in different, you could see that, and they just switched like that, rotated it around in space, zoom in, zoom out. I love that. And but I do make sure everything is where it should be and how it should look. I am one of those guys as an editor, as a CEO, as a creative director, art director. I've done them all. I do want things correct, but I want the artist to come out. But when it comes to things like Dunks over here, he's got to be pretty right on, or I'm gonna blow my freaking shit, because this guy's cool as hell, man.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
And
it's that fine line, whenever you're a CD, and you want to let the people express themselves, but sometimes you gotta pull them back, which is exactly what I said with renders, right? Sometimes he starts going way off, and his imagination's wandering wild, and that's great. You want to nurture that, but at the same time you got to say, hey, let's stick to the character design. Let's stick to the core nature of the character. You can start designing other things like new laser guns, new shoulder mounts, new armor, but if we want to get this done on time and on schedule and on budget, you really got to rein all that in and just like get them to that mode, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. How so you've talked a little bit about how everything came together. You're meeting with
Thomas.
Thomas and the comic, and of course he owns a multiple comic stores all over. I guess, is it one state or is it multiple states?
He has comic shops. Let's see, he's in Delaware, Virginia.
Wow.
and
do they all have
Comics and Gaming.
Comics and Gaming.
So is it a chain, or do they have different names?
It's not franchise, but I would say it's a chain because it's more than two. So it's several, and he's going to open another one probably. So it's
like friends and family kind of situation, like he handpicks the owners.
Well, no, he just owns them all. He travels.
Oh wow!
Wow. Okay,
that's crazy. So he basically, much like a CD, he's literally taking everybody's input.
So Walter Simonson just wrote a little thing about me for the campaign. He wrote Ominous Sir's story.
Yeah,
and
we got a question. We got a couple questions actually, really quick.
Sure, go ahead.
This one,
yeah.
Lord Hoagie, Sal Buscema is a legend. I totally agree with you. Most of my comic book collection has his artwork in it. I was a big Hulk fan as a kid.
That's awesome.
Obi-Wan, and we never say his last name. Obi-Wan, they look great. They look incredible. Yes, all guys' work is phenomenal.
And then we have Mike Floro. Hey, Mike, welcome to the stream. First time I guess watcher, listener. Awesome work. I totally agree.
Very cool.
And then Polo Ralph Flowerin. I hope you're listening.
Lionel, God, I hope you're listening.
And then, yes, actually, we do have someone going to SDCC. We know that Jay's going. And Guy, are you going?
I can't this year. I have so much stuff. I have two campaigns, one right after the other, and then it's working on those books. And I set a few things up. One big thing with Larry in Dallas in the fall. I have Dragon Con coming up. I'm going to be in Roanoke, Virginia in a week and a half. Then Dragon Con, and I have a few more. I can't even remember. But not SDCC.
It's always hard to promote a book and of course promote a property. So yeah, you're all over the place, guys, and SDCC of course is just ridiculous. I mean, like, you don't even have time to think. So I'm not surprised you avoided it.
Well, I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to wind up showing up at New York Comic Con. I'll probably be in Baltimore too. Then I have the thing in Dallas, and then I have another show in PA. I think I said I would do. And then next year there's going to be a giant thing in Jersey, where I have a booth. Good Alien is my company, Good Alien, and that right now the guests should be pretty legendary guests at the Super Jersey Comic Expo. In New Jersey.
Do you know what month it is going to be next year?
Which one's that? There's two there. There's 3 cons in April. It's April. I think it's April. I think it's third week. Yeah, I think it's third week in April, and there'll be a giant booth. It's a huge Good Alien booth. It's called. I'll have Bamco Toys. Bamco Toys is my company with Thomas that's doing Lostlanders. It's called Bamco Toys Inc. So I'll have a section over there, and then I think the potential guests are me, Larry, Scott Hanna, Bill Sienkiewicz, Louise Walter, Mark Spears, Kevin Conrad.
That's like a Hall of Fame. It's a Hall of Fame list.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
an epic list. I was about to say that is an epic list of creators right there. That's
well, like I said, and someone else who's very, 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 very popular, who hasn't made any appearances anywhere, who's a very close friend of mine, might show up, and people are going to go absolutely bananas if he does. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm lucky enough to have worked really effing hard. With barely sleeping, working on 60,000 projects, doing everyone's job this way or that way to get to where I am today. People say to me, "Oh, I want to do what you do," and I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because I've killed myself. But yeah, those names are big names, but they just happen to be the people I work with. They're really great people, and we're going to do charity at the same time. We're going to do charity events. Yeah, so we'll raise money for Hero Initiative and everything like that at the same time. Those are usually my deal. Is if I'm going to bring my pals with me, if I'm going to go somewhere, there has to be some kind of charity. Has to be, and someone has to take care of our creators.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Excellent.
Neil Adams was great. Sorry to cut you off, Jay. But Neil Adams was great, kind of getting that ball rolling. And I'm glad that you're, kind of spearheading, or at least, have your hands in keeping that tradition going.
Well, Neil and I were pretty good friends, and he actually did a cover that no one's seen yet, really, which I'm going to show for me. Neil and I, Jay, if we're friends on Facebook, right? You just type in Neil Adams at my page, and you'll see some nice pictures of us together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He's great. Yeah, we had the chance to interview him a few years ago.
Good for you.
He was a wealth of information, and he was so generous with not only his time, but also his knowledge. He was a fantastic, not only just a talent, but just an individual as well too.
He was incredible. I actually have a drawing over there. He sent. I won't get up and move, but there's a Green Lantern. I love Green Lantern, so he sent me a Green Lantern headshot he drew
Nice.
2 years before he passed as a gift. My wife was very, very, very ill for 7 years, and she wanted to buy me something for Christmas, and she was going to buy one of those boxes with all this goodies and stuff, and he saw that it was my wife going to buy it, and we've known each other for many years in Maryland, and so they're like, "Hey, your money's not good here, but you're getting it in the mail."
That's a great
Incredible.
story.
Yeah, I also met Neil a couple of times at Comic Cons, and he's just
That's
such a gracious individual. You know, I mean, like, and the body of work that he accumulated over the years, and just everything that he touched was just amazing.
Check out his old horror album. Check out the album with his horror work. If you have never seen it or heard of it, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a horror album. One of the large ones. I forget what they're called, which number that is, 45, whatever. And it's got his artwork in the case. And so you open it up and it has his artwork. Yeah.
See, I had no idea he did one.
That's what I'm telling you. Go collect it.
That's great.
Yeah. So how has the reception? Like, I know you have another. Like, so is this your first Kickstarter that you've attempted, or?
Traditional, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I understand you have another one upcoming, slated but that's more of a collaboration. But how has the experience been? Because for me, for example, we went in blind for the most part. I've done a few Kickstarters here and there, but I'll be honest with you, like we searched out for partners and individuals who had done the work before and really been successful at doing Kickstarters. Did you look for people who understood Kickstarter, or was it just something you said, no, I'm just going to do this, and I have a base who will follow me and will support me, or was it pretty much throw caution to the wind and see where it lands?
Well, I've never done a Kickstarter before. Usually I just grab my pals and go to a publisher and say, "Hey, this is me and Larry or Louise or Walter. And we're tried, we're tested and proven." And they go, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Do you want to do something?" And they usually say yes, and then they fund it, and it happens. This time, I was talking to Larry, and we were working on some stuff for Hollywood, and Larry worked on that series Core that was through PKMM Entertainment. If anyone wants to see that book, it's a full graphic novel. Larry took over. My son is actually a professional writer, and he writes a lot of stuff that's going to Hollywood and everything. And he also, I begged him to work comic stuff with me, and he's like, I have a new appreciation for working in comics, So, but anyway, so he started out on that series, and then Larry took over, and then Larry wrote and did the layouts for that entire story and the rest of it, and then I did the finished pencils and his ink. But I don't want to get off subject. What was the question again, Jay? So I could stay on subject.
Basically, I was just
Kickstarter. So I'm talking to Larry, and Larry is like, and it's happened around just before Lostlanders was happening, and Larry's like, "How should we do this? I want to own something. I've done all G.I. Joe, I've done Wolverine, I've done all this stuff, but I'm like, Larry, what do you want to do? Because people always ask me." Because I'm like, if there was ever a comics guy who was a producer, like a film producer, I'm the comics producer. So, but everyone also forgets that I'm also an illustrator. So like the industry folks sometimes forget I'm the illustrator too, but the fans think of me as an illustrator, not the producer guy. And it's like weird. So it's juggling. But Larry, I said, "Larry, what do you want to do, man? what do you got? You got something? Because everybody's always sending me their stuff. Hey, will you do this? Will you do that? Will you do this? And I'm always like, I got like 100 things in my email of what to look at. And I'm like, Larry's right here. Larry Hama. Larry Hama. If you have Larry Hama, you don't need anything else. There's nothing else you need. So I was like, Larry, what do you got? And he's like, I got this thing. It's called Manny's vs. Werewolves. I'm like, Manny's vs. Werewolves. Well, you know, we've heard of this versus zombies, this versus that, this versus this. But if Larry's doing it, you could bet your, I'm going to use an old term, bottom dollar, because it's a 20s thing. You could bet your bottom dollar, because it's set in the 20s, that if that's the 20s thing, I think it is, that it's going to be different than anything anyone's ever done, exciting, entertaining, have wild characters, have guns, and all kinds of weapons and all kinds of things. And I said, let's take a look, man. Send it over. So he sent it over and was like, boom, we're going to do our first Kickstarter. Never did one, Jay. Never was involved. It is nuts. Anyone out there who's like, right, Jay?
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Have both of you been in?
Yeah, we've done our first two for our own create our own comic book, and let me tell you, it ages you. It's so much to like look after.
Yeah,
you know, you guys are. That's such a good question because people don't realize just how hard. You know, most of us in the industry, we're not used to this. We're used to, you know, we do our thing, and it gets taken care of.
Yeah.
When when you're taking,
and if they bite, then it goes into production. But you know,
right,
as it is right now, this is you and the world, right? Like you basically are pitching
but
everybody out there.
I talked to Kelly Jones about it. I talked to Graham Nolan about it, and they're both like, "Yo, man, you got to just do it, bro." And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And by the way, Jay, I left the white in my beard here today and in my hair for you, sir.
You wear it well, guy. You wear it well, and I recognize that because like the last time I saw you, it was all like nice and dark. But thank you, I appreciate that. I want to give a huge shout out to lead designer. If you want to talk about an upcoming creative, lead is doing his best, and he's got a brand new character coming up, and it's. I can't talk too much about it because it's a funny little character. He'll talk about it all the time. But yeah, again, we got a lot of creatives who are upcoming and need that boost. And I think Kickstarter has really allowed for young independents to get a leg up. I mean, Steve and Comix Asylum, they have always, Steve, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for you, but I think it's always been that dream to do the book, right? Like, you've always been wanting to do it. But it's always about fun. I mean, as you know, Guy, doing your own book is expensive. I mean, like if you already have a good base to work with, it's great. But if you are an independent, you're trying to make people understand where your book is coming from, and there's just passion there, right? So I think that in a lot of ways, Kickstarter allows for people to reach that audience and hopefully make that dream come true. At least that's my opinion of it.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I want to also say is like, I make sure that when we create stuff and when I design stuff, I do it as professional as anything that was ever designed. I've been doing it for many, many years. And I'm one thing that I'm really great at is character design. That's one of the things that I'm just beautiful. Happen to be great at. And these are going to, if we can get this campaign going, guys, if we can get this campaign moving forward, you're going to see these are going to be action figures. So
absolutely.
But these are going to wind up being, the goal is to make these action figures, but we got to start somewhere. So we made these proof of concepts and people wanted to buy them. So we said, you know what, we're going to do these. We made minis for miniatures games coming up. You can get these, you can get a comic. And it's not just a comic, it's a comic with some of the greatest people who ever worked on comics and tried and true professionals that people have bought from for 55 years. 60 years. It's just, we've got Chris Ryall as well writing from IDW, and my son, after I begged him, he wrote a story. It came out incredible, and just with the stellar cast. Anyone getting this, and we have really low price points. Lost Landers wants to. We want. Our vision is the same thing like you guys. We need the help of the fans to be able to give them things that we know they're going to love. So it's like, we're not sitting here going, we just want to make something, give us money. We're going, we want to make stuff we know you're going to love, and you're going to be able to have a long time enjoying. And not only you as collectors, but your kids could play with these things. Your kids could read these comics. Your kids can share them, play them. And if you want a statue, you can have a statue. If you want an action figure, we're going to get to the action figures. You're going to get the best comics you can get with it. Posters, this, that. I have, I'm a product guy. My stuff is, if you go to Disney World, the superhero store, if you've ever been to the superhero store in Disney World, you will see my artwork on the walls there. You could see it in coloring books if you go to the store. You could see it in comics. You could go to Five Below. Hold on, is my Big Jim's pack. Check this out. The comic.
Wow. Those were on the back of some serious old comics, man.
Dude,
I love that.
So Sal Buscema's brother John drew this, and the inker was my buddy Joe Sinnott.
Yep.
Yeah, I love Joe. I miss him. He passed away.
In my opinion, he inked the best things. Like when he did like his FF inks, his thing was the best. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So like you could see this on the store. This is me and my brother did this. My brother penciled, I inked. And if you go to like Five Below, I don't know in Canada how it is, if you got that or anything, but if you see this anywhere, which you have, you've seen this on things. That's me and my brother.
Yeah. No, I've been Five Below, and I have seen those. I was like, oh, they got Marvel stuff here now. I was
check this out.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow, cool.
That is incredible.
His head rotates, by the way. Oh wait, I want to show you something. Sorry, I'm getting a little geeky right now because.
Oh wow.
The Invaders.
Oh man, that's classic. Holy crap.
Yeah. But anyway, so Lost Landers is really the first campaign, and that's with Bamco Toys. My buddy Thomas Chillemi and I are partners in the company, co-creators. We plot all the stories out, give it to the writers. The writers do their thing and go crazy. Although we really didn't plot the one that my son wrote. He really understands that stuff, and he made up all this crazy stuff that I want you guys to enjoy. But like Jay was saying, is like, we are creators. We're all creators, and we've got these ideas, and we want to bring them out to people. And the creator market for comics, for new comics from just Kickstarter alone, I think it was 20 million. 20 million, guys. Mm-hmm. Because fans are comfortable with it for the most part. If you get yourself people who really want to make something, you're going to get something good. And you're going to get something interesting. You're going to get something new, but you're also going to be there on the ground floor. Can you imagine guys sitting there and they're going, hey, we got this thing, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. You want to get in on the ground floor and get the first stuff? You'd be like, man. And if you didn't, and you found out later on, you became a fan, you'd be like, dang, I wish I did that. I wish I got that. Same thing with G.I. Joe or something. So for Lost Landers, I have the connections and people. And I was just talking. I got a call the other day from a buddy of mine who's a big producer in Hollywood. He makes big films. And he's talking to me about Lost Landers, and I'm like, dude, animation. And he goes, I see it, animation. And so we're going to talk. I might go out to see him. They're shooting Constantine out in Italy. So he wanted me to head out there.
Was that an inside? Was that an inside leak?
I think so. I think so.
We just got a leak here on
Yeah.
Comix Asylum.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. There was no leak.
You-
There was no
you-
leak. Nothing.
Yeah,
nothing
I should tell you guys. I'm so busy all the time. I don't watch the news or know what's happening. I don't know what movie's coming out until after it's out, and somebody tells me, and then I'll see something. I'll go, oh wow, because I'm making this stuff all the time. But I really appreciate everything, and I knew Jay would appreciate this stuff. I'm gonna, yeah. Go ahead.
Can you check out the Kickstarter?
Yeah, yeah. If you could throw up the screen I just brought up, Steve.
Actually, you know what? I will. How about that?
I think do you need to switch me to small?
Yeah, you okay? So why don't we just focus on on this? That way I can talk through it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So guys, okay, it's set to Canadian. Can you switch the? Do you want me? Actually, Steve, can you switch to my screen? Yeah, there
you go.
Okay, so guys, please definitely check out Lost Landers Origins Collection. This is an incredible project, and of course, done by some legendary artists. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, the number of people who are actually involved in this is just crazy. I mean, we're talking about Louis Simonson, Walter Simonson, Guy Dorian Sr., of course, Sal Buscemi. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing the names. Kind of just.
I'll tell you real quick. It's Buscema for everyone out there. Buscema.
Yeah. Popman, Chris Rao, and more, of course. And of course, this is by Bamco Toys. And guys, check it out. We are already hitting. They've already reached their minimum funding goal of $5,000, but that is not enough. We need to get them well past this. We need to get. If we want these action figures out, as you guys know, when we did Flip War, I'm telling you guys, if we really want to get this going with these guys, we got to hit 20,000, 30,000, and of course it would be amazing if we could hit $100,000 for these guys because action figures are not cheap. Producing them anywhere in the world is not cheap. But first and foremost, let's get the book out. This is incredible, and I love the characters. I mean, imagine different parts of the world, people who've never met each other, and all of a sudden, we're seeing creatures. Is this on our own? Is this in our own part of the world, or
well, it takes. Yeah, the crazy thing is it happens right now. We just didn't know that it existed because we don't explore those worlds. But now Ominous Sir's power is waning, and he needs an energy source. And Abby, who is the Bullet, we call her Bullet. She is from she's one of the only characters. There was a character called Bullet Girl way back in the 40s, and I had wanted to use her for. There she is, right there. I although that's her first design, she has a new design, a little bit new, but she is a designer. She's an engineer, and she designed, and she's a chemist and she wanted to be she wanted to fly jets. She wanted to be in the military and fly jets, but she has this thing about her. She's 6'6", and she does. Yeah, and she doesn't fit. See, here's something that's interesting. I don't want to give it away, but these hominids have something to do with the genetics of all the characters you're seeing. They have something of those hominids in their genetics that has transferred to them that most people don't have. So that's why they're so special. And this was a page written by Walter. This is the origin of Ominous Sir, and this is that right there is Epicurus, and he's smashing through the wall, and he's going to break up this party, and you're going to find out what's going on because they're going to do a ritual to bring back, without giving too much away, they want to resurrect Ominous Sir. Wow. And when you go back up to the top, if you go back to that one page right there. There is sort of a preview of Ominous Sir being resurrected. And that is him stepping out of resurrected.
And that was the small maquette you showed us a little bit earlier as well.
Yeah, that was the first one. And his head spins. He's got 4 heads, and they all talk different voices.
It's like a quintesson. It's like a quintesson. I love it. wonderful. It's got a wonderful background. It's got a wonderful story, and this is the type of thing where it's creator owned. As you said earlier in the beginning of the show, this is how you're not beholden to a larger entity like Marvel or DC or Image. This is a creator owned IP, right? And then that means that you can decide what these characters do, how they look, what they what they are, and then you start moving into the action figure sphere, and all of a sudden you get to see these characters in real life, in an actual 3D, and created for people to collect. But it always starts with a great story, guys. That, I think, is the biggest thing. There are people who are always creating like great IPs, but without a great story behind it, it only hits a certain mark, and then basically it starts to wean. But I can see a lot of great things happening with this. Is that the new character design there, guy?
Yeah, that's a new design right there for her.
Okay. He looks amazing. Kind of reminds me of Vindicator and a lot of other wonderful.
I love John Byrne. He's one of my favorite artists in the world, and I've met him several times, been to dinner with him. And there's some other stuff I'll tell you about in the future, Jay, both of you guys, I'll let you know something's going on. But either way, yeah, I wanted an homage to Vindicator.
Absolutely, cool. Beautiful stuff, and I recognize it right away as that. And again, you even got trading cards. This is amazing.
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say trading cards, and as you scroll down, you'll see as you move along, as the tiers, if we can raise the money, if we can get the money and get as much as we can for this, we have posters, then it goes to trading cards, you'll get the comic book, Origins comic, there's different different covers, I don't think they're wraparound. We're going to put them together. Look at there.
Yeah, let's go through a few of these, Guy. Let's find. So basically, with the pledge tiers, if we do tier 1 donation, what is the cost of tier 1 of the tier 1 donation?
I don't know the costs already, because that's the one thing I didn't do.
It's fine. It's a $5 pledge.
Yeah.
I'll go through it. It's a $5 pledge, and you get a set of Lost Lander stickers. They're not even trading cards. That's awesome. Imagine putting this on your laptop or on your binder. Again, I remember back in the day when we were kids, we would just stick anything onto our binders. So
the stickers are the ones right above that, the ones with the round things.
The ones
they're right above that, right before the whatever. It was the ones where they were all together. There was like six of them in a row. Those were the stickers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these
continue.
Stickers here. So tier 2 is Origins Digital. So basically, you will get Lost Landers Origins graphic novel in the digital version. And it looks like every tier also includes the previous tier, depending.
Yes, yeah. All the tiers, I believe, include the previous tier,
which is great.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful incentive. So then
go ahead.
Yeah, tier 3, it's a pledge of $30. We'll get a choice of heroes or villains lost cover. I love the fact that there are multiple covers. It's always a wonderful way to get people invested in the project. As we all know, in collectors, especially comic collectors, they're just hungry for additional variant covers. So yeah, guys, this entire bundle is available. So you get the digital version, and you can also get the choice of heroes or villains lost cover for the original graphic novel plus Lost Land. Okay, it's all here. Plus Landers original graphic novel digital version, and one set of stickers and one set of trading cards. So the trading cards and the stickers as well, which is
Guy. How many pages is the graphic novel?
Well, it depends on how much money we get, because it is quite expensive, because we're not talking about well, I'll just say this, we're talking about legendary creators, so not cheap. So I believe it is 40 something pages, because there's also other stuff involved in there. Jay, if you don't mind, I'd like if you could go back to that.
Sure.
So we could show the people the sculptures, the statues, because there's tiers where you get the statues. That's where it starts getting really interesting, because there's printouts of the.
I think it was so close to it. Again, we just got We just got a question. So then, if we let's just keep going. So tier 4, it's the deluxe graphic novel. So this one is the hero covers Lost Landers Origins graphic novel plus villains cover graphic novel, Lost Landers original graphic novel, digital version, one sticker and one set of trading cards. This one's a $50 pledge, and then we get the statues. So this one is tier 5, and of course we've seen some of the statues. Guys already showcased 2 of them, some of his favorites, and this is a pledge of $99. And with this,
really cheap.
It is. That is incredible, actually. You get a choice of 1 unlocked collectible statue plus hero cover of Lost Landers and the hero's Lost Landers cover, as well as the villain's Lost Landers Origins cover. You get the digital graphic novel, as well as the set of stickers and set of trading cards. This is amazing value.
Yeah, we want it to be able to be something that just about anybody can own, and get it out there, get it in their hands. And, this stuff isn't necessarily cheap to produce either. So it's like, but we want people to have it. We want people to indulge in it. We want people to have something that they can love and enjoy for years and years to come, and share with their kids too if they want. They could collect it as collectors, or they could have their kids buy it for their kids.
Absolutely. So this bundle only includes 1 of the figures, but if you go for an extra $99, again, it's a steal. You get your choice of 2 of the collectible. Now, does that change in size, Guy? Because I know you do have.
I don't know that information. It's probably when you click it and it goes to whatever. But that stuff I don't know, because I'm not the one actually. Thomas does all that stuff. He put the page together and everything, and so I don't know.
That's okay. Because
Jay, before you go on, not to interrupt, we got a great question here from Lord Hoagie. Is this a one-shot story, or will it be a series?
Well, if it's successful, we're going to keep it going. That's why this is an Origins one. We want everyone to get to see the characters, see them in action, see a hero, see a villain, something that will be an interesting story for each character. And it's reminiscent of the old days of good guy, bad guy. They're going to fight. And then saving the world and saving this and stopping the bad guy from taking over the planet and using up all the energy, turning us all into mindless people. And it's just fun. And we plan on it going forever. There's just like G.I. Joe, just like He-Man, just like anything like that. That is my focus. I am a world builder and a creator. Thomas creates things the same way, but I've always been a world builder. In Hollywood, what I'm doing right now is world building. So it takes years to world build, but we have
100%.
Yeah,
it's such
you guys know.
That is the most difficult part of hooking people in, and really, but people love world building, and that's the thing about it. And that's why I'm saying a comic like this is really an incredible base for creating collectible characters, because you can only go so far. Even with Flipor, it's one of those things where when we created Flipor, it was more of a joke. But as he evolved, as the character started, creating his overall mythos and the shape of him, right now, our creative team is now creating the mini comics and that's becoming its whole new thing. And characters are coming out of the woodwork because they need to, right? They're the world has to be built around, what are they doing? Why do they even exist? So yeah, it's always a wonderful exploration, right? And
the great thing is that Thomas and I really click. When we sit down to create stuff, we create like really great stuff. We both understand all this stuff, very well. And we're 2 people that just happen to click really well. And then when you go, hey, let's have Walter Simonson write, let's have Luis, when you get these people involved, and I have a plethora of other people that will be writing. Like I said, Chris Ryall wrote, my son, Guy Dorian Jr. wrote. But we have a plethora of people who are going to come in here and write with us, top tier teams. and we're going to keep it going. But we need your help. But with everyone's help, we get this to the high, however the levels, however high we can go. We're going to do comics constantly. We're never going to. There's going to always be comics of it, new series, expandable series, a growing universe, and that's why we started with the origins. Thomas said, "Let's start with the origins," so we're starting with the origins, and let's make figures. Like when somebody gets one of these figures, they're going to get one of these, like actual this size. This is the size. I don't know of any other larger or smaller sizes, but I do know for a fact that you're going to be able to have this in your hand, and this thing is badass. And I'm gonna have to send you one of these, Jay. You have to send some to you guys.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah, I'll hook you guys up.
Could you can we switch back? We'll just finish off because I want to talk about some of the stretch goals because I think those are neat. So basically, guys, if you want to go all in and you're a baller, there's also a full ultra package which is $499, and there are only 10 of these available. 12 items are included with this package. 1 signed and serialized collectible statue. 4 collectible statues. So not only do you get 1 signed and serialized collectible statue, you get an additional 4, I guess, of your choice. And of course, Guy has shown multiple ones tonight. A signed comic book script. Holy crap. That's always a big collector's item. A signed comic book script. Limited signed artwork print. That's always a lot of fun. Plus, hero cover Lost Landers graphic novel, villain cover Lost Landers graphic novel, Lost Landers digital version, 1 set of stickers, and 1 set of traded cards. This is the baller pack right here. This is the one that you want, guys. This is crazy. Only 10 available, so absolutely do not sleep on that one. That one's crazy. But I do want to talk about some of the stretch goals because these are actually very exciting. If the pledge goals are met and we get to, right now we're looking at level 1 for the stretch goals at this right now at this it's available. And so basically right now it's already unlocked Rockstar and Dunks right now for the first level. The next level is going to be you're going to have
Epicurus
and Craig Falk. Those two are unlocked at 15,000. So basically we need $10,000 to reach level 2. Actually, we're at about 3. Actually, it's only no. What am I talking about?
You're about 9.
9,000. There you go. See,
I think
my math is
60
terrible. My math is absolutely terrible. This is why I do YouTube. My math skills are absolutely. That's why I have the teacher, right? The actual teacher telling me how to do my math because I'm absolutely horrid at it. That's why I became a graphic designer. Level 3. Unlocked at 25,000. Colton and Slosh, and of course, everyone loves Slosh. He's that gooey creature. It looks amazing. And then at level 4, $40,000 will unlock Toro and Kilin.
Kin, the Kin soldier, Kiin. It's from. I'll explain it another time so you could continue on. But that character is going to be. You'll see pictures of it. It's so cool.
Yeah,
very Kirby-esque.
I think we saw a few pictures earlier. Hero, at 55,000 we get to Fusion and Omni, and of course there is Omnis Sir, and that of course is the big baddie. And then we get to 75,000. We get the Absolute Hero Bullet and the Yeti. I love the Yeti. The Yeti is one of my favorites. I would definitely love to see him. And then at level 7, who knows? The possibilities are endless, guys.
Well,
so
we
earlier, go ahead, Guy.
No, just continue.
Well, as I said earlier, in order to make this thing happen, guys, we as you know, from my own experience, you need a lot of support on this. And 100. I was saying from the beginning, I was like $100,000. You know, that is the goal, the real overall goal. If we can get this to $100,000, can we zoom back on Guy, Steve?
Absolutely.
Yeah, these beautiful statues here, all of these ones can become reality. I mean, you know, this is the goal, guys. Right now, we already have the wrestler and sorry, I gotta go back. Who was it again? It was stop it. It was right now available is Rockstar and Dunks. And Dunks is amazing. I mean, Dunks looks badass. Like I would love to have a Dunks. He's ridiculous.
Guy, I actually, not to cut you off, Jay, but Guy, I have two. One's a point and another one's a question. What I'm really impressed with is the fact that your villains look so cool. What Jay was mentioning earlier about, you start with one and sometimes your character's in a vacuum, right? And when you're world building, we all know that like the greatest heroes are that good because of their villains. It's the villains that really drive a story. And so when you're designing these cool villains with 3D printing now being part of the mix, does that give you more freedom to go kind of crazy when it comes to designing these awesome figures, or do you still kind of keep your work process the same?
Good question. I'll tell you the answer to this, because one thing, first of all, is I am a character designer. Number one, that's one of my strongest suits in the world. If you want somebody to create a character, it could be for the Barbie series. I'll know how to do it. The thing is I design characters so that they don't have to be adjusted. They never have to. When Neil Adams told me, he said, "Make things iconic, Guy. They'll always be iconic if you think of them as iconic when you make them and you design them." I happen to be very good at monsters, creatures. I'm a very good creature designer and character villain monster designer. So so like I can't sing you guys a song right now, okay? But if you said to me, "Hey, Guy, design a character made of this," or come up with 5 characters, I guarantee you by tomorrow night, you'll have characters you could use that people will like. They'll love it. It's just what I do. I want to play in the NFL. I'm 5'7". It will never happen. I can't lift 1,000 pounds. I can't sing a song, but I have a sixth sense to design characters just like that. And it's a good thing to have when this is what you do.
What a gift.
But always villains, you're correct. The villain must be scary and dangerous and powerful and interesting and new and you're going to find out all kinds of things about this character that you don't know. Things that are very specific to the character too when I design it. And you were talking about details. This is one of the most detailed characters, but I felt he needed it. Thomas and I talked about his face. That's a helmet.
Oh.
That's a helmet. Yeah, everyone's like, Yep. So I was I wanted to do something with, Thomas wanted to do a character that had to do with fish or some kind of fish. And then we were thinking about prehistoric stuff. And then we were talking, and there was a fish. I didn't know what it was called. And I knew it was like some iron fish or something. And then Thomas said, "Hey, I think I know what that is." So Thomas went and sent me the Dunkleosaurus, it's called, or something. And I was like, "Yeah, that's it." And he's like, "Yeah, man, here you go." He sent me all the reference. He goes, "I think we should stick with that." And I said, "Okay." So then I just designed this, and it came out the first time, and he saw it and he went, "Oh crap!" But if you look at his arms, look at his shoulders, you could see all the different striations of muscle, and I don't go overboard with anything, but I give us just enough, a little armor. Look at his knee pads. His knee pads are like coral, so it attaches him to the sea. He has three toes, one in the back, 2 in the front, and he has. You can even see texture. So look, you can see texture on his arms. I don't know if it's showing on camera, but he has this other texture. But that's the advantage. That's one of the advantages of the 3D, like you were asking. It's an advantage, and I don't have any problems being able to design anything I want. But I always keep characters just to where they should be, and never overboard, just where they should be so that they work. And man, I can't wait for you guys to delve into this stuff, man, because like I said, I've been in the industry since I was 19 and I'm 55. And I've spent a lifetime learning how to do these things so that I can bring them out. And I waited till I really had so much knowledge that I just had to spew it all out. It came out. Thomas and I, fortuitous match, Bamco Toys, Lost Landers, and you guys can now own it and make it real. You guys can make it. You guys can, anything that you could ever want out of it, it can be.
Yes, but in order for that to come true, we definitely need as much support as possible. Steve, if you want to share the screen one more time. Guys, right now, the project is sitting... It's already made its minimum funding goal. So we definitely do know that... where are they again? I went too far. Yeah, Rockstar and Dunks are available right now as rewards. But if we want to get all these amazing other tiers unlocked, as I said, the requirement is quite high, but it really is worth it, guys, as you know, with Flipboard and other projects. So 15,000 for these two, 25,000 for the next level. 4 is 40,000, 55,000, and of course it keeps going all the way to 90,000, which there's going to be a lot of surprises along the way. So yeah, guys, definitely you wanna back this project. It's a wonderful opportunity, and of course, independent creators like Guy, of course, and Lost Landers, and of course, Comix Asylum. This is the reason why we're here, guys. Right now, the project's sitting at just over its minimum funding goal of 5,000, 6,451,000. But again, that's not enough money, guys. So if you are interested in this project, I believe actually Andrew has just made a comment. If you want to put that up, yep. Really interested. Rockstar had created a gimmick like that in my professional wrestling life.
What was that? What did he say?
He loves it. He loved it. He created his own gimmick like that in his professional wrestling life. So,
oh, that's awesome.
He's very, very interested in that. So, guys, right now, $6,451 in pledges, but we have 23 days to go, and this is only on 38 backers, so we can really get this project going. Please consider backing this project. It's a wonderful project to take a look at, and I want to thank Guy for coming on today. It's amazing. It's such a talent, Guy. I mean, I love everything about this project. As a matter of fact, I do want to actually share with you guys something. My friend Waleed actually, I'm not sure if you want me to say his name out loud, but anyway, my good friend is also a wonderful creative, and he's actually got his own project going right now.
Nice.
Yeah, Steve, could you share the screen really quick? I just want to give Waleed a shout out on this one really quick. Yeah, he's actually got do a reset here. He's got a wonderful project called the Baguette Club, and it shares a lot of
what that's cool.
He's really working hard on this particular one. I think he said he was going to join us really quick to talk a little bit about it. I don't know if we can bring him in. Steve, is he available, or do you see him?
I do not see him.
Let me just ping him, see if he's actually ready to join us. Hold on for a second.
That's great. In the meantime, Guy, when you look back on your time as a creator and with all the I guess legends that you've worked with, what is it about being amongst those kinds of creatives that has helped fuel your imagination, career, etc.?
Well, it's a weird thing for me, because to a lot of people, since I'm 55 and I've been here for 30 something years, they say sort of similar things about me, because they came in after a lot of those guys and they only know guys from my era. So
Right.
it's weird for me. It's like those guys were and are the greats because they came in and uh, um, they were the guys who started everything and did everything new. And Walter Simonson was the guy that made me want to. I saw his art. I saw his in 1979, 78 Alien premiere. He did the comic adaptation of
Yeah.
Alien.
Oh, wow.
I saw it as a kid, and I had some Kirby books in my hand, of course. And then I saw that, and I went out of my mind. I couldn't buy it. I grew up very, very, very poor. But my aunt used to buy me some things, all on weekends and stuff. So I never got it. But that was the tops for me, and Sal Buscema and those guys. Eventually, being in the industry, I just became. They're just like my crew. They're just my crew. So, but to a lot of people who don't know what that feels like, I would say if I pull myself out of it, right? And they're not just Walt, Weezy, and Sal. If I pull myself out of it, and you were to ask me when I was like 9 and 11, and you say, "Oh, you're working with Walter Simons. You're working with these greats. Larry Hama, GI Joe, God, right?" If I pull myself out of it, I got to go, holy crap, shit, wow, this is amazing. I can't believe it. How could that happen? It's incredible. Oh, by the way, here we go. I'll show you. Here's me and Sal,
Oh, nice.
GI Joe. I did a GI Joe cover.
I think I remember that cover. That is a
Wow,
beautiful
that's
cover.
great.
Yeah. Can we zoom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. I totally remember that cover. That was
That's
incredible.
great.
Yeah.
that's the original.
That is beautiful. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Sal sent it to me. He's like, I want you to have it, guy. And I'm like, thanks, man, because we each get certain things, and he's like, I want you to have that because it was the first GI Joe that I ever got to do, and then it was like some kind of foil cover and everything like that. But I mean, can I mention my other one that starts after Lost Landers?
Absolutely.
Do you mind?
Absolutely.
Well,
Sure.
because
Can
but
we,
if your friend's coming on, let your friend on.
yeah, we'll bring him in. Waleed,
Hey,
what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey,
we're
nice to
gonna
meet you.
Yeah, that's
Nice to
this
meet you.
guy.
Nice to meet you,
How you
guys.
doing?
I'll introduce Waleed in a second, but guy, finish your story. Let's
Okay, I'll just say it real quick. So, after Lost Landers, on the August 15th starts the campaign for Mounties vs. Werewolves. Now, you want to do Lost Landers, two different companies, but you want to do Lost Landers. If Lost Landers is successful, we'll be able to do everything we want. But I want you to just, I'm just going to say, check out August 15th. Check out Mounties vs. Werewolves. There's a pre-launch. I just want to say that.
You're surrounded by Canadians right now, so we're definitely going to be checking that out. I mean, that's an
Well,
absolute.
that's one of the other reasons why I was bringing it up because I knew I was on with like a bunch of Canadian guys, and I have friends in Canada, and so I was like, I have to mention this because you guys are gonna like that.
Oh,
But
we did.
first and foremost of anything, support Lost Landers. That's what I'm really here for. But after that, check out what's going on with Larry Hama and I for Mounties vs. Werewolves.
Yeah,
You can go sign up to get notifications while Lost Landers is waiting for you guys to go in there and do your thing and make it real. I don't want to take any more of your buddy's time though.
No.
No,
We're all here to share.
Don't need
That's
stress.
actually
Don't need stress.
what's important. So what we'll do right now though is I definitely want to give everyone one last shout out. But it's not gonna be the last one, but basically, if you want to share that, Steve, guys, don't forget, we are right now at 6,451 pledges, and we have 23 days to go. We can get this up to 20,000, 30,000. It's definitely doable. I would love to see Bullet come to fruition. I mean, like that, I think is a must-have. She looks amazing. And again, Vindicator, Canadian. Come on, guys. This is for us here. The knuckleheads here. We're all We're all really so guys, definitely, if you have the opportunity, please check out Lost Landers. Do a search on Kickstarter for Lost Landers Origins, and it should be easy to find. They've already reached their minimum funding goal. Now we just got to get them well past that, and we can get some more wonderful concepts going. Thank you, Guy. And how can people reach you, though, Guy? Like, can they reach you on here and on your social media?
On Instagram. Instagram's the best place. Guy Dorian Sr. Art. I have a certain. It's just the easiest place to get me. Guy Dorian Sr. Art. And you could go to bamcotoys.com too, and you'll see some of the stuff, characters, some more images and stuff like that too. But go to Lost Landers on Kickstarter. But yeah, if anyone wants to send me a message or talk to me or ask me questions, you'll get in the queue. But still, you go to Instagram, Guy Dorian Sr. Art. Easiest place to get me.
Definitely confirm that Guy communicates quite a bit through Instagram. That's how we met many months ago. Thank you again, Guy. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we're going to circle back, no problem. But I did want to chat with Waleed for a little bit. Brother, how are you doing? Like, it's been a long time no see. We haven't seen each other in years. No, I'm just kidding. We saw each other this afternoon. Always great to see lead designer. Tell us a little bit about your independent project right now, lead.
Before I start, I just want to give my flowers to Guy. That's amazing. Lost Landers, like being an artist myself and just seeing projects come and seeing how people put their passion and put their creative minds to create something this unique. It's like it's respectable, It's very appreciable, because I've been in the NFT world and I've seen fast art, and it takes away from what it means to create this kind of concepts and build on it and make it something more, so I give you your flowers, and I'm gonna get in this. I'm new to this too, so you guys gotta sort of pace with me, because I just
thank you very much, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem.
Really quick, Zal, we got a comment from Zal. How will I check that? How will I check that out? Definitely head over to Kickstarter and type in Lost Landers, and it should come right up. Again, please support the project. We really appreciate it.
It's a Kickstarter pick, by the way.
Oh wow! Holy crap, that's great.
That's great.
That's
yeah.
So it's going to be on the front for a little while. So that's going to be awesome, guys. So definitely check it out. All right, lead. Take us through it, brother. We'll share the screen.
So, Baguette Club is my take on how I bridge Web3 and Web2 together. Because, like I mentioned, I was in the Web3 world. I didn't know too much about Kickstarters, and I'm very new to the collectible scene. Recently, Jay mentioned, I actually tried my first solid piece of a figure of my character. And also what they're currently showing you, if you're looking at the website, those are QR codes. But if you go on your phone, you will be able to access our AR character. Like, we have renders of our character that you can take pictures with, and you'll have the AR with you, or wherever you want to place it, how big you want it. So you could turn my character into a giant, and you could be like this small thing. But currently, this project was on hold. I took like a long break from it just because the Web3 space got a bit toxic, and I didn't really want to let it affect my real world situation, being a parent now and trying to adapt. And I'm like, okay, I got to take a step back. So I took a different approach to what was happening in the space. A lot of people were doing NFTs to do it and promising stuff. And I was like, man, that's a good way to do it. But, a lot of people ruined it for people, real artists and creators and devs that want to make something of value. So I went a different approach altogether. I was like, I had a talk with the team, and we sat down. We were like, hey, we got to do something unique. Like, people are promising stuff, they're not pulling through. We got to pull through. If we want to be respected as creators and devs and artists and fashion designers or whatever we are, we need to step. And that was one of the things I've been raised with. When you're going to create something, show it, like, show proof of work. And if you're going to do it, go it all the way, So we took the deep dive. We self-funded our own project. We are actually going a different route. So we're bridging Web 2 to Web 3, and we're creating a Web 2 product. Since I'm a fashion designer and Jay knows that, I designed the Titan Toys gear, so check that out. I know you guys will have a little love of that because the quality is on point. So I took the fashion route. I'm creating these blind bags, and what inspired me to create these blind bags were Santa Cruz X Pokemon skate decks. Those are a very cool concept. They took to the original concept of Pokemon, where you rip a fresh pack of cards and you don't even know what it is, and you're like, am I gonna pull the Charizard? Am I gonna pull the Blastoise? I don't know. Is it gonna be the rarest one? And that's what I wanted to create with the fashion concept. So I built these five hoodies that are segregated into amounts of quantity. So one's gonna be very rare. It's gonna be very limited, but they're all going to be all cool. Like they're all too good. Like I was pretty shocked at what I did with it. But the cool thing about it is I'm actually integrating NFC chips and AR into my garments. And the way that's going to be cool is that my garment becomes interactive in the digital world now. So if for instance, like, I don't know if you guys know about Artifacts, they did it on their hoodies, and I wanted to sort of do something like that with mine, but also create a narrative. And if you have some time, we originally started the whole project on Twitter, and we had this whole story behind it. But now we're switching it up, and we're like, it's time to roll it. The story's still there, but we're gonna now launch it and just building it. Honestly, there's so much going on, and I don't even know where to begin. It's just been like a great journey, and like after watching what Guy's doing, it's just like I can relate. I was like, man, that's a lot of work. Like he did a lot of work, and it's just awesome to see that, seeing other creators and entrepreneurs all going at this and creating some awesome stuff, for the space.
Do you have your little guy there handy with you?
Oh yeah, give me 1 second. I gotta
Yeah.
jump on
If
my
we want
bed.
to zoom in on lead, we can take a look at his little project. Steve, if you want to just just drag him over. Yeah.
So before I show it to you guys, I have two renders of it, and also there is an action figure on the way. Just like I
love it.
literally put everything together. My three
love it.
render guys went in. They went like super, like, I don't know how to say it, but they just surprised me. And they're like, "Yo, we got it ready. We just need to get the project started." So here's the first render, which was like my first one ever. It's like the skin. You can't really see it. I hope you can see it. That was him. That was my first one. Now this is the most recent one.
Oh wow!
Look at him. He looks great. He brought it to the office once, and it was just awesome to see this guy. He's just beautiful.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it, like this whole concept, is like, we just did the journey. Like we didn't do it like a Kickstarter, but we just documented in social media. And like when my 3D the printer guy, he's like the guy who prints everything, and he's just amazing. He just literally did a video of it, did like an ASMR of it cracking, and it hit 2.7 million views. And because of that, I started coming to it. We started getting a bit of a rush on Twitter, because people started realizing, like, oh, this is they're still doing Web3. Like, we are still going to be staying to our roots, and our roots, but our planned roots that we have, because we actually have 10,000 characters, and you can see the first character is a cigar. So, like I said, the whole concept of baguettes, I want it to be free. I wanted people to see however they wanted to interpret it, because that's what branding is about. Some people might wear it because baguettes could mean money or bread or whatever. But me, I took it from a perspective of like how I met people and how I connected as an artist, and when I was a kid, I'm not gonna lie, we do once in a while, we in the clouds. So, that's why there's a cigar, there's like a joint and a split and so forth.
We're in Canada. You can talk about it. You don't have to. You don't.
I didn't want to say it on, I didn't want to say it on live.
You're so ambiguous. It's okay. Be free. Be free. Lead. Be free.
So yeah, it's the character is it's actually like just we're at the corner of it now, and we're just about to launch on the September on the 27th. We're actually opening the project. We're gonna do pre-orders, and if you sign up, you get on the pre-order list, and you can pre-order, and then we're gonna just do a public, and we have like this whole campaign ready for it. Right now, I know I should have mentioned this, but I'm gonna give you guys a little. I know Jay was there, so one of my friends, he's a really great producer and videographer and just sound engineer, and he came by and he just did his magic, and I'm pretty excited to get this rolling with him because he's a great plug to have on my side.
Absolutely. And so I'll show a couple of things that Lee's worked on for Titan, and very excited about the stuff that he's working on. Steve, if you want to show this. So yeah, guys, check out some of these. I mean, some of the apparel that Lee's working on is just top notch. I mean, this stuff is incredible. And of course, Lee takes some great photography and just wonderful designs overall. Talk us through a little bit of this, Lee.
So I'll give you guys a background. I went to OCAD as an industrial designer, so that's my background, product development. I work in the fashion industry is my prime, so that's why I'm very new to the toy industry. But I have great guidance. I have great teachers such as Jay and Danny Green and the Titans. They're always teaching me stuff, letting me play with some like these amazing toys that I've like wouldn't even like be like, oh my god, I'm not gonna spend $500 on this toy, but fuck man, I get to play with it. This is awesome. Just getting to learn about it, the mechanics and the structures and like how they're detailed and the textures and what people like and what people don't like. It's a very cool way because I took all that knowledge and I'm translating it into my project too, right? So it's like it's amazing. So I'm having the time of my life. But at Titans I just do like more of the photography, the graphics. Jay's the master of the video, so I let him, but once in a while I'll do like a Instagram kind of video. I help him with them content creation stuff. So here and there, and so.
How did you come up with these designs for the apparel?
Honestly, when I design, I go deep. Like I go very deep, And the one thing that I always enjoyed as a designer, as a product developer, is the packaging. So this hoodie you're currently looking at was inspired by like shipping packaging. When it comes from over Hong Kong, or a package that comes from Vietnam, or when you look at the Mattel box, look how detailed it is. It's like it gives you that cue that music on, So I wanted to create that same feel with this hoodie where it sort of looked like a package, and then the other one, the gray and the black one, were more internally to the community that's inside Titan Toys, like because on the back it says "Welcome to Olympus," and from a visual standpoint, I made Titan Toys like the headquarters Olympus, so that's what sort of played on that and try to build it and give it that kind of like aesthetic.
It's been amazing seeing all these new developments with Titan, and of course the apparel. And of course, one of your passions is videography and photography. How do you come up with these ideas to actually make these things go?
Oh man, right now the one that you're currently looking at, it's made by one of our in-house Titans. His name is Drew Olive. Oh man, that guy killed that video. But this is the great part. Like as being in the fashion world, like I've worked with so many influencers and designers and all these creatives that just you know how to strategize concepts and development, and then you gotta trust people too. Like hey, you can do it, bro. Like this is you. Put your flair to it. So he did that concept, which was awesome, which I love because how he had the Spider-Mans, all three of them, just pulling it out like it's like a hot pancake.
So much fun. And what's next? What's next for you right now, Lee? Like, what are you working on? Other than well, of course, you got your NFTs and other projects. But what else are you working on right now? On your side?
Just client work, man. Most of it's just production. A lot of the great things are coming up for the future. But I am planning. Well, planned now. It's in the works. It's all moving. The next 2 months till September, like the launch, I'm focusing straight on Big Egg Club. We're going to be doing a lot of new samples. Every day I'm up till like 3 a.m. just working with the factories because I don't just do my stuff. I do other people's stuff too. So I'm currently working with them, other clients, corporate clients, a couple hockey players, basketball players. So, I run their brands in production. So just doing that on a daily. So right now its focus is Baguette Club and Titan Toys, and just working with the community that's within the toy community too, because it's amazing. I'm learning a lot. Like that's the biggest thing, and it's very welcoming too. You know, I met a lot of people on Instagram, and just really great energy and great vibes, and you know, just like Jay, bro. Jay's helping me out a lot, man. I really enjoy it. You know, just being around Jay.
Oh my gosh, guys! Guys, it's been amazing. Obviously, working with Waleed and everybody on the team here. It's been great. Definitely check out Titan Toys. And what is the? How can people reach you for your other project? Lead, like what?
Um, you could check me out. Okay, so I have two Instagrams. I have like my work Instagram, which is Lead Designer, and you can find that on Instagram. And then if you guys want to contact me, there's also just go on Baguette Club to take you to my Twitter. I'm on there usually here and there. We also have a Discord for Baguette Club, so you'll find me in there too if you want to come in there. And all my main Instagram that I'm usually on is Young Lead, so it's YUNGLEED. I don't know how we can put that up, but so yeah.
It's all good. I want to thank our special guest tonight, Dorian Sr. Guys, definitely check out the Kickstarter. It's crazy. Guy, why don't you leave us with some words? How can people contact you, and what? Please tell people how they can contact you again, and is there anything else that you'd like to say before we log off?
Well, first, I'd like to say thanks to both of you guys for having me on. It's been fun. I don't get to talk to people that much because I have my head in the board, or on a phone or this or that. So I really appreciate you having me on. I love what you guys do. Uh, 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 you guys all inspire me as well. You had asked what inspires me, and everyone always thinks that it's just the people because I work with such big people. But even when I work with John Carpenter and all, it does. Everyone inspires me, man. Everyone has something, and I'm inspired by everybody, everyone all the time, all the great things, and just this industry itself. And I just wanted to say that, and I really hope to get to share Lost Landers with everyone. I really want. I mean, it is. I've worked many years to make sure that I found the right partner, and that when I did a toy company of my own instead of working for everyone else, that it came out with its own property that was awesome and for everybody, and something that will be like, with all the years of experience, a lasting type of thing for everyone, so we could all enjoy it. So please go to the Lost Landers, share it. If at minimum, share Lost Landers, the campaign, with other people. Help us get to where we want to get to, so that we can do what you see anywhere on any shelf. And we're gonna bring it out to you as best we can. Always top quality, always the best we can, always affordable prices, always affordable for campaigns, and always well worth it. And just come with us for the ride, man. It's all in good fun.
100%. If we want to just throw up the screen one more time, Steve. I forgot to mention this, but guys, we are sitting at 6,451 pledges right now. They've already met their minimum funding goal, so we do know that these are going into production. One thing I did want to mention as well, which I forgot to mention, I don't know how I forgot, but I did forget to mention this. The first tier, the pledge tier. Actually, sorry, not the first, the second, or the third, but the tier which really interests me right now is tier number 5. I mean, this is $100 for all this, plus the statue. And when you think about it, that's amazing, considering the fact that a custom action figure like Flipor, is $55, and now you get to this wonderful designed statue, and they look incredibly beautiful. You can color them the way you want. You can customize them the way you want, and they just look amazing. And for only $99, you also get the 2 graphic covers, the digital version, trading cards, and stickers. That's amazing. And then if you want to do just a little bit more, another $100 on top of that, you get the actual 2 starting figures, which is the level 1. You get the hero, Rockstar, and the villain Dunks. I mean, that's just added value any way you look at it. Let's try to get these guys up to $100,000, guys. This is as you know, that's actually what you need to actually do a project right. And I want to thank Guy again for coming tonight and showing us this wonderful project. So, guys, definitely check out Lost Landers on Kickstarter. Guy, thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you,
Really
guys.
enjoyed having you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I loved it.
And Lead, take us home, man. How can people reach you, and what are you working on? I'll throw up your
Man,
project right
honestly,
now while you're talking.
I just want to give guys props, bro. This guy's, the work was awesome. Let's focus on him, because it's time to let's take it to the next level, because we're all here to support one another.
Well, let's at least talk about your Baguette Club really quickly. Tell us a little bit more about this, and how can I if I was to be on this? First of all, it's Baguette Club WTF?
WTF? Yeah.
And how can people reach you from here then? Do we Instagram?
Well, if you go to the Bakers, if you click on the Bakers,
Okay.
we're at the bottom tab, right next to About. You'll see on the left on the menu screen, the bottom. Yeah. You'll see I'm right at the top.
You're at the top. Yep,
Yeah,
there
right
you
at
go.
the top.
Yep.
So
clicking on that,
it'll take you right to my Twitter. If you have Twitter, you can hit me up there. But also Instagram is the exact same handle, so you can find me there too and just contact me. I'm usually very active on socials.
My computer is slow right now. I'm not. It's not wanting to connect. But yeah, guys, you can check out all the bakers here. They're all running away with your. These are amazing animations, by the way, Lead. I love this.
Honestly, the way I made this team was just like Web3. I jumped into a community. I didn't know who I met online. I was like, I don't even know anybody who's here. I met this French guy who was an animator. And honestly, it's just been the most weirdest experience. And he sort of is one of the biggest inspirations to his character because he's French, right? So I was like 007, a French baguette, let's do that. That could work,
Absolutely. So, guys, definitely follow Lead Designer on Twitter, and of course, check out the Baguette Club WTF. And I love these little animations you got going. All this great stuff. Definitely check out his project. Man, this is awesome. Is this going to be one of your little guys as well?
Yeah, that's so pretty much there's going to be an NFT collection after this first drop of hoodies. So with the hoodie comes an NFT, which is going to be our VIP supporters. These guys we have to take care of them. The first people that come into my project, everything is the same buy-in. So there is no, you got to come in. If you're going to come in, you got to believe in us. So I'm going to take care of you guys with an NFT, which is going to give you gated access to our website. There's future plans where our NFTs, once we launch the collection and you get your character, they're going to be 3 tiers to them and you can upgrade them. So from the first tier, you'll get a static character with the PNG. Second one, you will be able to get it animated with all the layers, so you can animate them however you want for your cartoons or whatever you want to run, because you will have character access with your NFT. And the third one's going to be 3D. So this gets interesting. People will be access to the 3D file. They can use that 3D file if you're good at Blender and so forth to create your own content. And this is a proven thing that's already done by other projects. So I'm just adding on to it with my level of making it gamified, making it fun with the NFTs, because there's going to be so much more to go. With me, I'm in the fashion industry, so I'm going to be creating new collections, new concepts, new bridges. I'm just going to keep building. You know how the industry is.
Looks like a fun project overall, Lead, and thank you again for hopping on tonight. I've always wanted to bring you on, and saw you were up, and of course wanted to give you a little bit of time. Guys, once again, I want to thank Guy Dorian for being here tonight. Definitely check out his project. It's really exciting, and we are very, very happy to know that it's going to go into production. Once again, I want to thank Lead for coming in really quickly, talking a little bit about his project. Steve, I'm blown away. I don't know.
Yeah,
this
is amazing. This is eye-opening, and the thing that we all have to remember is there's so much talent out there, and a lot of us aren't aware of it. but hopefully through streams like this and platforms like Instagram, you're able to get a bit of an idea of what's out there, and also to take part in what everyone's offering.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to, there are so many wonderful creators out there, and this is another way to get your dreams started. And of course, Lee, Guy's been in the industry for a very, very long time, but even then, this is just a wonderful platform to get other projects. Once again, I think Guy, you said it very early on. You don't want to be tied to a bigger company to actually take away your creative freedoms, right? Sometimes something like this really does give you the ability to chart your own path and just
It's not a world we ever had back then. Now we have it. If Kirby knew, if Kirby was around,
oh jeez.
Wow.
Right.
Imagine.
Right. So that's why I was like, I've been doing this for a while. It's time for me and my guys. This is the era for this stuff. This is when creators can do it on their own, and fans, if they're willing to jump on, you can make great stuff together. And this is it, man. This is once I realized I should take that plunge. And when Kelly and Graham said, take that plunge, dude, I was like, I'm in, bro. I'm in.
Oh, wonderful. Helium Dread. That reminds me of California Raisins, that basketball. There you go, Lead. There's one for you. And Yo Joe, shout out to all the artists and creators. Thank you, Yo Joe. See, you're awesome, brother. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure catching up with Guy Dorian Sr. and, of course, lead designer. Steve, do you want anything else to add before we log off?
I want to thank our guests once again. And I also have to wish Jay safe travels as you head down to sunny California for SDCC, and all the success in the world for Flipboard and you and your team.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
So, guys, if you don't already know, we did a Kickstarter of our own, and we were very fortunate to get Flipboard into production. So he is actually going to come out. We are shooting for December, and we're going to have updates at San Diego Comic-Con this year. We were lucky enough to be selected for a panel, and it's just I want to thank everybody who supported the Flipboard project. You guys made this happen, and thank you guys so much for all the support. Myself, Matt Hatter, Renders Effects, who I did mention before, this is his work. So yeah, guys, we're all going to be there.
Great stuff.
Oh, incredible. He is. And can you believe that he actually did not know what he was doing when he first started this?
Well,
that's what's really scary.
As a 30-year professional, I endorse that.
Absolutely. And by the way, Guy, you should. He uses ZBrush, or for American ZBrush, and apparently it's like sculpting on a computer. That's what he tells me. So if you're interested in maybe picking up a piece of software to start playing with, maybe ZBrush is the way to go for you, because he swears by it, and he is a traditional sculptor by trade. So he started much the same way you started, and look at the results. And that's like
you'll have to get us to talk to each other.
Absolutely. No, I will definitely connect both of you. He wants to learn as much as everyone, and you yourself said you're always a student of learning. So, and of course, Steve can attest to that. Yeah, we never stop learning. Once we stop learning, you might as well stop living. But it is the heart of what human beings are, and that's where we are. So thank you everybody for being here tonight. Sven Mueller, Sven, good to see you, my friend. If you want to throw the one up there, Steve. Finally, holidays. I have time for your channel. Affectionate regards from Germany. Thank you so much, Sven. Always great to see everyone, all the viewers from the other side of the world. Sven has always been here when he can, and I really do appreciate it. Yo, Josie, hope to see you at SDCC, Mega J. I hope to see you too, brother. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Not long now. It's only a few hours before my flight and a few hours before the show. Guy, I'm sorry I won't be able to see you there this year, but hopefully we'll be able to hook up at another convention very, very soon. You said you might be going to New York, you're not really sure, but
I'll try to come out to Canada too.
Oh, that
That'd
would
be
be great.
perfect. That'd be
We
awesome.
might
Great.
I'm planning a few things, so maybe we'll invite you. On a personal level. So we'll see what happens. Lead, thank you so much, brother. And guys, don't forget to check out Baguette. What was it again? Lead.
It's Baguette Club.
Baguette Club. I was so close. BaguetteClub.wtf. Definitely check that out. It's no matter what, it's a lot of fun, and I love that little guy. Show him one more time, Lead. Where is he?
Oh, he's right.
Where's
here.
your little guy?
He's just watching you
there
guys.
he is.
He's literally
that guy's just
That's
awesome.
great.
I love it.
I gotta always have him like this, 'cause he's always looking, So he can't even look straight, so he's always looking over there. So
I love it. All right, Steve. I think we've learned so much tonight, and
Definitely.
why don't you send us off, Steve? This is amazing. This was amazing. This was an amazing evening.
Yes, everyone. Thanks again for stopping by. To our guests, thanks again for imparting all your wisdom and showing us all your amazing talents. Jay, safe travels.
Thank you, my
And
friend.
for the comic community, keep it indie. All right, everyone. See you next week.
Oh well.